Unapologetic.
I said what I said.
Unrepentant.
When I am assertive, I'm a bitch. When a man is assertive, he's a boss.
And unfiltered.
If you want to say anything, you say I'm real.
I'm Dominique the Diva.
I am the #1 most impactful.
And I'm Chey Parker.
Did not come here to impress you. Because to tell you the truth, when I leave here, I'm gone. And I don't care what you think about me.
And we're not here to offend you. We're here to offend everybody.
You were thinking it. I know, but you said it. I know.
So listen, we're dishing on everything hip-hop, pop culture, and all the bullshit in between. So get your panties out a bunch. And press play if you ain't scared. To Diva Unfiltered. Okay, we rolling. Happy 2019, horse.
Happy 2019. Happy New Year, Dom.
What's up, Chey?
Nothing much. I'm excited about the new year.
Going for you?
It's going great so far. It really, really is.
I'm
excited about it. Honestly, just trying to stick to all of my first quarter goals, which are already kind of hard to stick to, like working out. But we're
you
getting
said
there.
your arms hurt because you did arm day.
I know, but I never want to go. That's the thing. It's getting there that's my problem.
But once you're done,
you feel so much better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the point.
What you going through?
What am I going through? I'm just getting adjusted to the new year and just like trying to do everything that we plan the year, like plan it. Like I'm already looking at the fact that we always feel like January is like super long, and it is. But a lot of the things that I have planned are like for February, March, like March. And
so right now is planning
time for that.
Right.
And I'm trying to get better with like pre-planning, preparation. Because I don't know, the older you get, I feel like you realize like being prepared is like half the battle, whereas you're pretty cool with winging it all through your 20s, like, oh, okay, it's gonna happen, but like you want to give yourself less anxiety the older you get, and you're like, okay, it's gonna happen, but let me write down exactly how it needs to go down, just to like alleviate as much stress and make room for like have time for anything that could possibly go wrong. And I feel like sometimes we don't plan for that part. But if you prepared because you have a plan and you have to deviate just a little bit, you know what I mean, you're just like, oh, okay,
yeah,
I got this. So
I feel like that even goes for being on time places for me now. I'm working on like my punctuality.
But you're not, like, super tardy ever.
No, I used to be though. I got a lot better last year, but now I'm trying to be like, okay, 10 minutes early. My boyfriend is teaching me that, like, you know, if you need to get gas, if something happens, you know, you need a little bit
like if your gas light go off when you pull up to the crib, go ahead and just get gas right there, because having to get gas in the morning, you are setting yourself up for failure. And I don't even like pumping my gas, especially when it's cold. So I only do it like when my boyfriend can do it. I really hate pumping gas. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
This really nice guy pumped my gas at the gas station last night.
Oh, men are doing that?
He didn't even want anything. Like, he didn't want my number. He didn't ask for anything. He said, you want me to pump your gas so you don't have to stand in the cold?
Yes, sir.
And I was like, absolutely. I appreciate you. Do you need anything?
Do you tip them, or like what happens?
I didn't tip him. It was just a young black guy, and he was walking into the store like with his friends.
Non-creepy.
He was non-creepy.
Yes.
He was just like, hey, do you want me to? I was the only one at like the pumps, and he was like, do you want me to pump your gas so you don't have to stand out in the cold?
Yeah. Do you want me to have your baby?
I was
just
like,
kidding.
God, this nigga about to try to talk to me like that. But then I was like, let me be nice. So I was nice, and he didn't ask for anything.
So we need more men like that.
Him.
That aren't creepy, that aren't also gonna ask you for your number, that aren't also gonna like be weird about it. Yeah. Because I don't typically like when men approach me at gas stations, especially at night and I'm by myself. Yeah. You know, you might not be the creepy guy, but we don't know.
We don't know. Because, I mean, and even if you're not the creepy guy, a lot of you have creepy tendencies. Yeah. So it's like, we never know. We gotta...
That's nice. You know, and I'm glad to hear that, because, you know, I've been feeling such a way about men and the way that black women are treated. I know everyone was watching the Surviving R.Kelly thing, and like we can get into that too, but like, and I watched all of it, of course, but I didn't cry until I went to the bathroom afterwards, and I'm literally on the toilet like, wait a minute. Everything that happens to a black woman is our own fault.
Girl.
And it just, that part right there, you know, because we can get into the R. Kelly thing, but I'm just talking about just point blank period. A lot of times when things happen to us, I can't really recall when a black woman has been just 100% like innocent from the jump. That should have never happened to her. A lot of times you're always going to hear, well, you were raped or molested, or like, oh, well, what were you wearing? Or what did you say to him? Or you should have known by that, or you should have did this instead, shoulda, coulda, woulda type stuff. Or even if you have a baby by somebody who ends up being a total jackass and leaves you, then it's like, well, you should have been more careful who you had a baby with. And like, my nigga,
you knew he was a bum ass nigga.
Fucked up shit happens to us sometimes that we don't deserve, period. You know what I mean? Just point blank. And I also felt like, I also got to that point because I was thinking, wow, if one white woman would have came out, just one white woman would have came out with the R. Kelly story, then that would have been what the fuck happened. That's what happened. They would have needed a tape of it or whatever. What she said goes, and we've seen that in most instances, in a lot of instances, and the judicial system will just go off of what Becky said. But we don't get the same thing.
But when Tisha says it
might be an issue.
True.
Just like the juror who was like, well, I didn't like what they had on. I didn't like what they had on. I just didn't believe them, you know, in the documentary. And I'm just like, I'm a black woman coming to court. What do you mean you didn't like what I had on, and so you didn't believe my story? So that is really what made me feel like that. And then I did see a lot of men try to say, no, we don't feel like that about you. But honestly, you guys should do a lot better job, like
in showing
uplifting us and showing us that without being creepy, such as the guy who just was like, let me just pump your gas, queen. It's cold outside. Like, we need more of that. And it's not enough of y'all doing it, and it's not enough of y'all who are doing it, that if you are doing it, are getting your homies involved in it, or when they're doing fuck shit,
condemning that,
you know, capping them on that. Like, it's just ridiculous to me.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And I think this goes back to what I said on an earlier podcast about how I think a lot of men just have very unconscious entitlement feelings towards women and towards pussy.
Yeah, they definitely are
entitled. And even if it's not a conscious thing, or they're not being malicious about it, or, you know, mean about it or negative, it's just an unconscious mentality that they have, that they don't value women. Yeah. Women across the board, not even black women. Black women especially, but women across the board, they feel like they're entitled to vagina.
They are.
Like, and everything we do is for their acceptance or for their love or for attention from them. And that's not the reality of the situation.
No.
So I'm glad that the docuseries did come out, though, and a lot of men saw that and realized that, okay, the behavior that I sometimes have, or the behavior that I see other men have, is not okay. And it made people think differently about sexual assault.
Yeah.
It's not just somebody grabbing you from an alley and, you know, someone you don't know with the mask on, you know, sexually assaulting you.
It's not
or
always
or
that drastic. It could be
most
like,
times it's somebody that you know, that you trust, that you've already been intimate with.
Girl, I've been sexually assaulted before by, let's say, a coworker, and that person will turn around and not like you no more. And I'm like, I didn't do this to me. You mad at me? Because you mad at you. It just doesn't make sense, the mentality that people
because
have.
No one has corrected you before.
Right.
And now I'm correcting you and I'm redirecting you, and now you're mad.
And now I'm a bitch. But guess what? You won't touch me no more.
I bet you won't do it again. You got the right one.
I'm so glad that documentary was so thorough. After watching that, you know, and a lot of people are like, we already knew this stuff. Yeah, we did. But this was thoroughly executed. And we also learned a lot more things. We learned more about his team and everyone else that helped these things happen. And after watching that, I don't believe that you can really straddle the fence anymore, because it was done so thoroughly. It touched on so many different angles, all from the 90s up until now. And I'm just like, you can't straddle the fence anymore. However, I do want to get a list of songs that we are not gonna mute, because I wasn't an R. Kelly fan. So all the ones that y'all love, I wasn't a big fan of it. Growing up in my house, we didn't listen to him like that. My mother said she just didn't really get down with him. But it's a few songs that he wrote and stuff, like Maxwell, Fortunate. Like, I'm not muting that.
Yeah, no, we can't mute Unfortunate. And honestly, do we have to mute So Sexy with Twista and R. Kelly? But listen, I'm not.
Are we muting this? Come on, Seth.
I feel so bad.
That was a good summer for me, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. After the docuseries, it was on my mind a lot, and I definitely had like a 2-hour YouTube R. Kelly session, because I was like, "Look, how we gonna?"
So you the reason why Jada Pinkett put the video up? She was like, "All his streams is going up. Why?
Look.
I understand why." Shay's like, "It's me."
I was just like, if I'm really gonna let go of all this music, I wasn't a huge fan to the point where I was going to R.Kelly shows or I was just like, but I definitely listen to his music often and the music that he's written for other people. So I was like, I just need a moment to decompress and to,
for sure. Go ahead.
Just listen to my songs. If we're going to let them go, we're going to let them go. But like, I need this moment right here.
Yeah, I understand that. It's a few songs that he's featured on that I like Cassidy Hotel. Like, that was my jam. Like, but mainly that Twista song.
Girl, you wanna come? Oh God,
mainly so sexy.
I can't even stop.
All the other ones you don't want to listen to because you know he's talking about 12 and 15-year-old girls.
So are we doing like features? Like,
are we doing co-written and produced? I'm not giving up Maxwell Fortunate, and that is where I draw the line. I'm taking a stand. He wrote and produced that, and Maxwell has nothing to do with that. Why can I not listen to Maxwell?
I know, and there's been
a beautiful record.
There's been a lot going on, like, since the docuseries happened.
Yeah.
I know he's been evicted out of his Chicago studio.
They're giving
Apparently he's hospitalized because he's been having anxiety
he did go
attacks.
to the hospital. A doctor usually does home visits, but this attack was so intense he had to seek hospital treatment, and sources claim that attacks are being brought on by all the backlash. He's not just from the various celebrities, but like the general public condemning him, and so he's just been having panic attacks. But I mean, who cares?
I mean, are people really condemning him that much? Because he definitely had a birthday party in Chicago,
right?
And he looked like he had a grand time.
Allegedly, there were some women screaming, "Take me hostage!" Like,
what?
Girl, why you playing? And that is also why it's so hard for women like you and I to sit up here and say, "You guys need to respect us more and show us more love and protection." When this bitch is yelling, "Take me hostage," you know what? Take her ass too.
But surprisingly,
go ahead then.
I also saw a lot of women saying, "I don't care what y'all say.
Yeah.
I'm not letting R.Kelly, the king of R&B, go."
Yeah.
And it was black women.
Yeah.
And I was just really thrown off by that because I felt like if you watch the docuseries, there was no way as a black woman you could sit there and still
be like,
say that.
Exactly. And that's why I felt like we even had I even saw people online like posting old pictures with him, and I thought that shit was corny. I thought that
I saw a lot of journalists doing that. I saw a lot of journalists saying,
radio personalities, and the day after that documentary, and I thought that was really corny.
Real corny.
Everybody's gonna talk about it. We know what the topic is. I got on my Instagram live for like 2 hours the day after to talk to everybody so everyone could get their issues out. But I thought that was really corny to align yourself with that, because I'm always gonna stick up for the black woman, and my listeners are 18 to 34, and most of them are black women, and a lot of them have also had the same situations happen with them in their life, and I'm going to stand with them regardless. I don't care how long we might have known about R. Kelly. I don't care how good he smelled and how nice he was to me. That is not what I'm going to stand for, especially like immediately after a documentary like that. So I thought that was really corny.
I mean, even some of the journalists who were posting it, or radio personalities, and they were talking about the docuseries or how they felt about it, but the image was a picture of them together, and I was just like, anything for the clicks and the likes, huh?
That's just really
anything
whack.
for it.
But you know what?
It was whack, but whatever.
That's why
y'all can have it.
That's why they're in their market and I'm in mine. Anyway,
well,
who is going to fight for the black woman? You know what I mean? Because we already know we be fighting amongst each other on certain views, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just like you have to be able to.
We don't even fight for ourselves. That's the thing. And I feel like as black women, we have to be a little bit more unified. Regardless of our perspectives on life, what we do for a living, what we do to our bodies, whatever the case is, the fact is we're all black women. We all go through the same struggles, and we have to come together a little more and not tear each other down the way that we do.
Some girls don't have that in them. Like, I've always been the girly girl, but I've met some women who have straight up admitted, like, growing up, they were never like that. Like, kind of like jealous, or some women who may have had families at a very young age would look at other single black women who are like living their life, whatever the case may be, and felt a little bit of jealousy because, you're so young and you're already a wife and have kids. And so you just looking at this girl like, why you out every weekend? Why you be wearing that type stuff and on some hater shit? Yeah. And it's just like, really weird to hear that, because I'm like, I've never met a young lady where I just didn't like her, or like just because like I've never felt that way, but I've had people feel that way about me. And I just don't, it doesn't make sense to me. And it's also very important. Like, a lot of it starts at home. I know a lot of people wanted to bring up the parents. Now, we're not going to talk about the parent. Like, y'all know sometimes a black mom might have to work 2 jobs. She's not really home like that. Anything that I wanted to do as a teenager, I did it. Right. Anything I wanted to do.
I found a way to do it.
I figured out a way to fucking do it. So, I mean, you can blame them, but a lot of it starts at home as well. And I'm also glad that, you know, I had a dad around, because R.Kelly wouldn't have been able to get in my head.
Oh, and they talk about how, you know, R.Kelly worked with Destiny's Child at one point, and, you know, Matthew and Tina was like, not having it. They didn't take their eyes off their kids. You know, I think it was only like a one-time situation.
He said he wanted him to come to wanted the girls to come to the studio afterwards. But go ahead.
And they were like, absolutely not. No, sir, no, ma'am. So I think a lot of it had to do with some of these parents, you know, feeling like, this is my kid's big break. Like,
dropping them off at the studio.
You know, and it's unfortunately is like pimping your kid out. Essentially. You know, and you may not have thought about it in that moment, but hey, it is what it is. It's also interesting how all of these things are coming out about other men in the industry who have had inappropriate behavior in the workplace.
And some of them don't go in the same thing. Like, for one, we're not going to talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce. Okay?
No.
And we're not even, because the issue isn't young women talking to older men. That is something that's been happening for years, since the beginning of time.
Right.
We're talking about someone who preys on, that is a pedophile. You know what I mean? We're not talking about, you know, them he didn't starve Beyonce or pee on her when she was underage and shit like that. So it's just really not the same. I don't even understand why some people are bringing up other people.
Yeah, I heard a lot of men saying, "Oh, well, we saw y'all getting in cars with the older niggas back in high school." And I was like, yeah, we were 16 and they were like at most 19, maybe 21.
We wanted to go.
Maybe 22. It wasn't like I'm 14.
It wasn't like I can't call my mom.
And this grown-ass man is 31, and I can't get in touch with my mom, and he's giving me a bucket to pee and poop in, and I'm in the house with all these other strange women.
Stop. But, you know, I see a lot. I'm glad that it came out, because also I got a chance to see who got that rapey vibe on my timeline, and these niggas that's entitled. So I'm glad I did see that part. Hopefully it'll make women, you know, more prone to like kind of sticking together. Yeah. Because the other thing that just did bother me was a lot of black women making excuses for these young ladies when they are victims. Yeah. And also, maybe, you know, what'll bring us together is the fact that men are now telling us how we should wear our hair. I want to say that Meek Mill is the ringleader of this. Just when I was just starting to like him again, here you go, talk about lace fronts. Now, we all do have our own issues with frontals and bad hairs, and sometimes I be seeing people saying they got slayed, and really they didn't get slayed. They got played. And they got butchered. And but do you feel like men have the right to say anything about our hair, period?
I mean, I think it's okay for men to have preferences. I do. I think a lot of times, like, women, we get very offended when men have preferences as far as like hair is concerned, you know, our bodies and things like that. But the fact is, it is preferences. And it just is what it is. Like, if there's a man and he doesn't like a woman that wears weave, okay, that's not the nigga for me. Right. As long as my nigga like me, I don't really care what the rest of y'all like. Okay. So, I mean, it just is what it is. But I don't think that it should be. I think we're seeing it a lot more now. And it's already hard with women seeing images on social media and feeling like we're not enough, or we're not beautiful enough, or our boobs aren't big enough, or our hair isn't long enough or curly enough.
And now a lot of the girls are starting to look alike.
Then to hear it from men is just like so much pressure. It's like so much pressure. And I think you have to walk a fine line as a man between stating what your preferences are, understanding that no one really gives a fuck about your preferences. We don't give a fuck about what you prefer, okay? You can state, it's like someone who has an opinion. It's fine for you to have an opinion, but understand that we don't have to give a fuck about it.
Yeah, and it's not a fact. A lot of people feel like their opinions are facts, and you just be like, and sometimes I'm not going to argue with people because I'm just like, well, I'm not going to argue about your opinion. Like, what are we arguing about?
Right. It's not right or wrong.
I don't think that way, so fuck you. But
the thing with Meek Mill, though, why I think that a lot of women were like, what, Meek? It's because you dated the queen of lace fronts.
That's why he has an issue with it. He's fucking been taunted and he's fucking been tainted by Nicki's wigs. Her wigs just got good at the end of last year.
And sometimes, right, when Arrogant Tay started, you know, doing her wigs, it just
But some of these hoes are starting to look like, all y'all's looking like brown Kardashians.
What?
But their hairline is real. Some of them all looking like I seen G Herbo baby mama. She looked just like somebody else baby mama. I don't know. It's getting confusing.
But a lot of the things that the men are saying, it's not a lie. Sometimes
it's not a lie. Exactly.
Ladies, sometimes it do look like you got a helmet on your head.
Okay, and sometimes, and what Peter Thomas said wasn't wrong either. Let me play it for you.
Y'all got to know that everything is not for everybody. I don't like to see people darker than me, black as fuck as me. Okay, woman. Okay, wearing blonde hair or honey blonde hair, and it's not even done right. It's just crazy. Cause it looked like you were in a fucked up hat.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong.
He didn't say nothing wrong.
I seen it before. I've seen it before. The honey blonde,
preference.
It's super
okay.
blonde.
Yeah.
And it looked dry and it's stale. Girl, I was out not too long ago
blonde.
and I got a DM from a supporter of mine and she was like, girl, I'm laughing. I see you on stage. But that girl next to you, hair not moving like yours. And I was like, whoa, when did this happen? I don't know who I was on stage next to at the time, but apparently people could tell that her hair wasn't swinging like mine. I don't know. I've seen the same thing. It's not but so many. One thing I do say about brown skinned women is that we can get away with a lot of colors. Like,
yes,
you know what I mean? We look amazing.
Blonde, we can wear silver,
but it just has
purple.
to be done right.
That part is where bitches fuck up at.
Done right. and he's like, I know, I don't know. I couldn't be but so mad at Peter's statement because I've seen bad helmets too.
I don't think he was saying dark-skinned women can't wear blonde hair. I think what he was saying was if you're gonna wear it, let it be right.
Yeah.
Get it done right.
Good. But the thing about everyone's preferences of good is not the same. Like, you ever, like, meet somebody or know someone, like, okay, this happens to me on Instagram all the time. Like, I hate a certain person's eyebrows. But then you'll be like, wow, like, they really do their brows like that every day. Like, they really like that. They must like it. And so it's like, well, damn, I can't say anything.
Who am I to say?
Because obviously she likes her brows like that when they look terrible to me and it's nothing you can do about it. And then I'll look at that person's comments and some people will be complimenting on their eyebrows, which I think look fucking atrocious, but they're not going to think anything different when people are like, oh, your brows. And it's just like, wow, everyone has different taste.
Yeah, different tastes, different preferences. I don't think Peter said anything wrong. The only reason why Meek Mill was wrong is because literally every bitch you talk to has a lace front or has had one.
No, he's
so how are you going to protest
Hispanic girls now? That's why. I don't know.
Y'all
Who
swear,
cares what Meek thinks?
When a bitch say hola, y'all just got the most exotic Spanish.
But we're not taking advice from medium ugly niggas in 2019. That's what we're not going to do.
Did you say medium ugly?
Yes, medium ugly. You're barely here. You're barely there.
So you're not like all the way ugly, but you
just
not
medium.
cute either.
Yeah, medium ugly niggas is in style, but it's just like, relax, bro.
Yeah, if you got a little bit of swag, a little money, you know. Okay, also other things that we are not tolerating in 2019.
Okay, I'm not tolerating lazy work ethic. I'm only working with people who work.
Dom, don't preach to him right now. Don't preach to him right now. Don't do it.
And not the people on the ground like they do work, and then you hit them up for the work, and the work, and the work.
And the work.
And where is the work?
Where is the work? So this is what I want. Black people, listen to me, black people. Listen, creatives, black creative entrepreneurs, listen to me right now.
Making it hard.
Stop underestimating your turnover time.
Mm-hmm.
Stop underestimating when you're going to be able to get people their work back. Because honestly, I am not a fan of having to chase niggas down for work after I've already given you your money.
Girl,
I'm not going to listen. We're not going to say no
name. Pictures 30 months later.
But whoever feels a way about what we're saying right now, we are talking to you. We are talking to you, and it's for your own benefit. Because what a lot of people don't understand, especially photographers, graphic designers, videographers, you come a dime a dozen.
There's a lot of you now, and there's also YouTube.
you
Girl,
know what I'm
learn
saying?
everything on YouTube.
I can go find somebody else to give this work to, but a lot of times we like working with you guys because you already know what we like, you already know our expectations,
Yeah,
you
you
already
got
know
it.
the aesthetic that we're going for, and you probably already have our login information to everything we have.
And
However, you can get replaced.
Yeah. Essentially, you want to be able to create more business for yourself and more opportunities. If I've had a hard time getting my finished product, or if we had to do a lot of revisions, I'm not going to recommend you when people ask. And people ask me all the time for different random things. I'm not going to recommend it. Just like if you own a restaurant and every time I go there, your service sucks and people, Dom, I'm coming to DC. Where should I eat? You think I'm going to tell them to go there? You know what I mean? It's just the same thing.
It's only
and
fair.
A lot of people and a lot of millennials are just perpetrating, and it's just not cool. And so I'm just not going to be working with those people, because I'm one of those people that understand how freelancing is.
Yeah.
And I thought that maybe paying them whatever they ask for up front would like give me some type of
leverage to
but
get
no,
my
it
shit on
doesn't.
time.
It doesn't. You got to hear a whole bunch of excuses. And, you know, excuses are tools of incompetence, which builds monuments of nothingness. And those who participate in them are only capable of excuses. That's what I'm not tolerating in 2019. Shout out to the K's.
But yeah, I mean, I just feel like, you know, I want people to... We're getting to the age now where shit is really not a game. This is our lives. These are our careers. This is how we eat. This is how
Everybody don't feel
we
like
put
that though.
food
They're
on the
really
table.
playing out here.
And what I'm not gonna do in 2019 is I'm not going to allow people that I work with to be subpar and mediocre when it's my work and it's something that I'm putting my name on. So if it doesn't come out right, if it doesn't come out on time, people are looking at us. People are looking at me, not the graphic designer who was fucking
Nobody knows
3
you.
months late, not the photographer who didn't give you photos for a whole 60 plus days.
But the thing about it, everyone's like, let's work. Let's work.
Let's work. Right.
Let's work. I want to work. I'm trying to build.
But y'all not trying to work.
I'm trying to build. Also, in 2019, I'm not going back and forth with people about prices and stuff. I mean, I think I've said that before, but like really this year. You know what I mean?
My price is my price, and that's just... what it is.
What did he say? Set your price and live your life, my nigga. That's really what it is. I don't get off my couch, my beautiful purple couch, for less than a certain amount, and that's just what it is. And I'm not going back and forth with you niggas.
Right. And what I also want people to understand, especially people who like have these events and they want you to host them. If you have a ticketed event and you want somebody to take time out of their day, pretty much 4+ hours, get ready, prepare, have their hair and makeup done, come in there with a fit on, come in there smiling at everybody and being
Use
social
media
and taking pictures, and you want them to post and all this stuff. Pay people what they ask for. You have to understand that we are brands. We are using our likeness to try to make your event a success. You know, we're essentially coming to work for you, your event.
Yeah.
So don't think that people are going to take 6+ hours out of their day when they could be working on their own business. They could be sleeping.
So
they could
many
be
other
with
things.
family, and you don't want to pay them.
And people
it
are
doesn't
trying to
make
be
sense.
like,
don't ask me. If it's not Oprah, do not ask me.
When y'all be like, just stop by if you can. Let me tell you something right now. I can't. I don't have the just stop by. I don't have the just stop by time. Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't have it. Okay, so he's like, no, just stop by. If you want to make sure that I'm there, then we're going to make sure that we work this out as a business
and it's
transaction.
beneficial for the both of us.
Also beneficial to the both of us, because I know I got a lot of people that's like, hey, I have a brand new podcast, and I just, you know what I mean? I think I answered that in my Instagram questions, but then my friends were getting on me because they say my answers were mean, and I thought they were very honest.
I think people need honesty. And let's just say this. Let's add this disclaimer. This is not like a one for all type of attitude. There are instances where people are having events and we do go and we do support them.
Or
it's not like
it's really dope and we're like, actually, I just want to be a part of this because this is dope.
It's dope. It's dope. But at the same time, when you're asking someone to come to your event and work, I think that's a major key too. You're asking me to come work.
Yeah,
and then even if you're just asking me to stop by, you're asking me to stop by because you likely want to take pictures and say,
that
you know
I
what I'm
was
saying?
there.
Like, so come on.
Somebody tried to invite me to an event and it was like, I need to know if you coming because I'm gonna make a flyer. No, the fuck you not. No, you're not. Like, y'all got the game fucked up. I don't know, and I think people forget that I'm 31 and I've been doing this a long time. I'm not here for the games.
Right.
Another thing I'm not here for is when the fuck are we gonna do with Mr. Trump? because people can't feed their kids. It's a shutdown. He throwing temper tantrums over this fucking wall. And I think we should build a wall and throw his ass over there.
Right. Let him stay over there in Mexico and see you try to climb over it and come back. It's just for the fact that we've been in the longest government shutdown in history over something that's literally a perceived threat that's not even real. Because how many of us are more scared of cops shooting us than Mexicans?
I'm more scared of the white man. Honestly, truly. And why I'm scared because our TSA workers aren't getting paid right now, and the airport is where most of our terrorist attacks have happened. And right now, I would be letting everybody weed through, everybody guns, go ahead, because I ain't getting paid.
Listen, y'all, if you trying to smuggle anything across state lines,
go ahead with the Gorilla Glue.
Now is the perfect time to do so. I'm not saying doing it, but I'm also not saying don't do it.
They found 2.5 million. They had a $2.5 million drug bust in D.C. a few weeks ago. Insane.
Well, where was I?
I don't know. I was like, whose plug is this? They had like mad heroin, like 40 pounds of weed, a Maserati. I'm like, Maserati? What action is that going to? I need me a drug dealer car, girl, because I'm corporate now.
Do you ever wonder if, well, this probably does happen, that cops probably like take a little bit.
Of course they do.
When they seize,
of course they do. There's a cop, right? It's some soldiers actually right now that's under fire for
trying to smuggle mad cocaine.
Yeah.
In a military airplane.
Okay, you know what? And all that cocaine was probably going to Soulja Boy, because I don't care what nobody say. He is cracked out. Did you see him yelling?
I did see him yelling about how he had the biggest comeback in 2019. How?
What song did he have? Girl,
I don't know.
I was asleep. Did we miss a Soulja Boy song?
I mean, if he's talking about his comeback being this 2019 marriage boot camp love and hip hop reality TV edition,
saw that. I didn't
see that.
This is
not. I mean, it's just coming out now.
Oh,
but he's saying that he's gonna have the biggest comeback because all these rappers are trash.
Okay, all right, Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy, you're trash. You never could really rap. You're a great businessman, but I mean, your music has always been trash.
I ain't fight no crackhead shit.
But he's a great businessman. He better go somewhere and fight his girlfriend. Don't fight me. I don't got shit to do with it.
Oh, his girlfriend. He with that girl,
Nia Riley.
Okay, I don't even know how they got there.
I don't know if they're still together, but I do know that they're on marriage.
Did you know
boot
that
camp.
black women were mad at Santana for something? I don't care what Sin said. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm not gonna be mad at her.
Oh, they were basically saying that
why don't we go back to like years ago and find audio and then get outraged about it?
I don't know. And she was young. She was basically talking about how she doesn't date Hispanic men because they're possessive, and black men, black men cater to Spanish women, and that. And then it was something in there about black women and attitudes.
But we all know that black women and Latino women have attitudes.
Right.
So I don't know why.
This goes back to preferences. This goes back to preferences, guys. As long as my nigga like me, the nigga that I'm fucking with likes me, I don't really give a shit what the rest of y'all like.
But why do we have to be like, oh my God, I'm so offended, Sin, I'm a black woman and I've supported you and I can't believe you said that or something? Like, y'all is so fucking sensitive.
But so desensitized to the things that we need to be very sensitive to. Isn't it the strangest thing?
Yeah. And then even with the whole Kevin Hart thing, what? I'm tired of hearing him. Quite honestly, I am tired of hearing him apologize to the LBGTQ LMNOP community. I'm over it. He said sorry. God damn it. Like, seriously, we don't get all these apologies. Oh my God. He said he didn't want his son to be gay. He doesn't want his son to be gay.
A lot of people feel that way.
He doesn't fucking want his son to be gay. What are you upset about? Like, I don't want my son to like McDonald's. I don't know, but that's his preference. I'd rather than be vegan. I don't know.
I will say though,
all the vegans gonna be upset. Like,
right?
It's just ridiculous.
After this whole R.Kelly thing came out, and they were pulling up old tweets from people,
pull up
saying
my
things
tweets
about R.Kelly.
and pull up and fight me. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck.
Pull mine up, because guess what I did? Went back and searched all the keywords and deleted anything derogatory I could have ever said.
Because I definitely be dropping the F-bombs.
I'm gonna give you guys a key. Just go on Twitter, put in your Twitter name and put like a keyword like R.Kelly or gay or, you know, bitch or whatever, and like literally all your tweets will come up in that search.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not apologizing for what the fuck I said. I'm really not. I really don't care. Is that bad?
You know why people like you and like Donald Trump work? Not trying to equate you to Donald Trump, but
You mentioned me and Donald Trump.
Angie pointed this out. Like, if you're gonna, you can say crazy shit if you're not going to give a fuck about it.
Exactly.
But if you're gonna be the person who is so apologetic and wants to be seen as the good guy or the good girl, such as Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart does want to be seen
because he's
as,
also making a different type of coin now in different types of movies, and I get that.
And I get it, right?
I don't know. And even with like money and endorsements and things like that, I honestly, my entire brand has been myself. I'm Dominique the Diva. I have Diva Unfiltered. This is what I get unfiltered. And I don't really recall Wendy Williams apologizing for a lot of things that she said or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't see myself giving a fuck anytime soon about shit that I say. Also, I'm a Sagittarius. The only time it bothers me is if I said something offensive to someone that I love, someone that I have a friendship with, but if someone that I don't know is mad at me, like people are like, oh, I'm unfollowing you. Bye. You could have died yesterday. Didn't know. Don't give a fuck. I don't know. I just don't care. And I think one time some guy, I think I played a Kevin Hart clip on the air and just to show people, and it was from his stand-up comedy. That's the other thing. I'm a big fan of comedy. I don't know. Some people think I'm a comedian because I'm so fucking hilarious, you know? And I'm just like, comedy is where you draw the line. Dave Chappelle doesn't apologize for anything. He said mad shit. You know what I mean?
What? And Dave Chappelle has said some crazy,
and he is not going to apologize.
Shit.
And I love that because either you with it or you're not. And if you're not, then it's just not for you. But it's just like, where do we draw the line? And some person on Instagram or Twitter once was trying to say that I was bashing gay people.
That's how he pulled up your tweets, though.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, if deep down inside I know that I don't feel that way, I don't care what you think. If deep down inside, I have gay best friends that I love, that I cherish. If I know that I would never vote against someone that wants to get married. And I think it was a Chappelle show, actually, where Chappelle says, gay people are getting married. This is crazy. You know what I mean? It's like from the 90s or whenever, early 2000s. Like, I thought that was hilarious. But it's just like, stop being offended about everything. And if I know deep down inside how I really feel and my relationship with God is good, I honestly don't care. And if I say something offended and you just don't want to fuck with me no more,
you don't have to.
You don't have to because
you really don't have to.
You just don't have to.
Right.
And that's how I feel.
Trust me, no one's losing any sleep over here.
I sold my Yeezys. I unfollowed him. I don't click on some things that I see about him unless I have to. It's okay with letting people go and things go and it not being nothing. Like, I just don't fuck with that, period. It don't have to be an uproar or a fucking rally.
Right.
Like, why don't other people feel like that?
I don't know. I think we're just, like I said, an overly sensitive society that is so desensitized to the shit that we actually need to be sensitive to.
Yeah, I'd be like, but do you want to fight?
Like, the thing is, everybody is not going to like you. Everybody is not going to like your lifestyle. They're not going to like what you do. They're not going to like where you work.
They're not going to think that joke was funny. Everything is funny until it happens to you. And some of the funniest thing to say, and I have that in my Twitter pinned quote.
We're just saying it because it's funny.
We're saying it because it's funny. I'm not saying it because it's mean. It just happens that it's mean. And everything's funny until it happens to you. Period.
Yep.
Like, just period. I think hopefully in 2019 people will start being less offensive. What do you think? Or are we just getting started?
No, it's probably going to get worse. It's probably going to get worse.
Okay, fine. Well, how do you want to wrap this up, Shay? I missed you guys. I'm so glad y'all was so eager to hear us.
So we have a lot planned for the year. It's going to be really exciting. We have events coming up. It's going to be a lot of things that we want to do. So stay tuned for that stuff because we're excited.
And we'll holler at y'all next time. Thank you for listening to Diva Unfiltered.
Peace.